and of course my window capture is not capturing the the freaking bitty map again. Darn it, you son of a beep. And we want to capture... It is not finding it. Capture. Cancel that. Hey. Remove. Oh, it's there now. Thank you. It is there. It is there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being there. Aloha and welcome. We had a little technical snafu. I'm sorry. It happens. Aloha and welcome to a brand new season of now what is called the Hidden Archives. What used to be called Spirit Bureau is now the Hidden Archives. There is a reason for that. We will get to that. And we are joined by our lovely investigators today, Rune, and two of them have switched characters on me. Actually, I knew about it beforehand. Bifrost, why did you introduce your new character, Tarek?
Okay, so I am playing Tarek Anto, who is a champion of the Phoenix, champion of redemption, and he will be joining the Hidden Archives because it furthers his own personal mission, and because it gives him a chance to try and bring opportunities to people across the world, not just in the Quadratic Islands where he was initially posted.
That's the Quartic Islands.
Sorry, thank you.
No problem. And Jackie, why don't you introduce your new character, Casey? Jackie?
Sorry about that. Casey is a tall Saurus summoner that is decently new to the whole paranormal investigation shtick, but has quite a bit of experience in combat, and is optimistic about bringing that to investigation after not being able to get much use out of it in a while.
Yep. And we of course have Rune today, who is probably mightily excited about the new libraries she has access to.
Yep.
So, I just want to start things off with a disclaimer. This episode may contain some controversial or offensive elements dealing with some obscure old taboos in Almana lore and culture. Let me lower the volume on this a little bit. Sorry. And this does not in any way represent my views on these matters, and there's just strictly just elements within the lore that is being brought up in order to tell a story. Right? So with that out of the way, since the party's adventure in Arctica, it has now been 4 months. In that time, our investigators have received numerous reports of strange happenings all over the world. Too many to even count. You've been through a lot, including missing people, strange creature sightings, hauntings, even the strangest of all, black-eyed children. That will be coming up later. But with so many reports now, Crystal Dawn, the leader of the Wayfinder Society, has called you all in with a proposal for the Spirit Bureau to join forces with the Wayfinder Society as a whole new branch called the Hidden Archives, granting you full capabilities and resources that the Wayfinder Society can provide. It is upon this day where our story begins, as Crystal is showing you all around the basement in the Wayfinder Tower, which she is giving you, where you find shelves full of books and scrolls, filing cabinets, several desks. Rune's going crazy. She's like a kid in a candy store. As she is showing you around a strange device in the center of the room, which she refers to as a teleport pad that will give you a way of teleporting from here to the Fox Hollow Ranch instantly. What are you all doing?
As I'm
Other
looking
than our section of the library.
Someone's rolling a
Sorry about that.
crap ton of dice. 5,213. You hit.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Rune.
Don't worry, we're just pre-rolling to know what the results are and act accordingly.
Yep.
Alright, so, Rune, why don't you start?
Other than ransacking the library.
Other than that, yeah. I know, you're like a kid in a candy store today.
Yeah, she's going through every lore, going through find out section of schematics, see if anything that's about flying ships and stuff like that.
Alright, so Tarek, what are you doing?
Tarek is listening intently and then asking periodic questions. The goal here is to find out exactly what kind of cooperation we're looking at and whether we'll have access to analysts and other resources just to sort of try and track all these different things that are going on.
Yeah, of course. She tells you have full access to everything that the Wayfinder Society can provide you. All the resources, all the analysts that you need, the full access to the library, you have full access to this library that she says is a collection of books and scrolls that was actually procured from an old ruins that an old adventurer party named the Tribunal used to inhabit. All that stuff has now been moved here. And in fact, this teleport pad actually came from there too. She actually blew it up the last time it was used, so she had to spend a lot of time trying to repair it. It took her a long time.
Impressive. No, that sounds excellent, and I hope that we'll be able to go over things with people here, but it's good to know that we can coordinate.
Of course. And Casey, what are you doing?
Casey's probably just interacting and talking with people around and trying to familiarize themselves with the place.
Alright. And it is at this point you all hear screams coming from outside. Crystal immediately just jets up the stairs as she says, "Oh no, Kuai, Eira!" Because she recognizes those screams. As you all make it outside, you find a pair of Maji Guard officers with Kuai and Eira. A pair of young girls, one with dirty blonde hair, the other with platinum blonde hair. And they're being arrested. "What in the gods' names do you think you're doing?" says Crystal. One of the officers hands her a scroll, which she unrolls and looks at. What kind of trickery is this? How would he even know about them, and why in the gods' names would he suddenly enforce a law that's not been enforced in years? Has he lost his mind? Release them now! The officer says, "No, we can't do that. And if you insist on interfering, we will have you and your little compatriots arrested as well."
Who's going to be assigned as counsel for these two?
We don't know that information.
I will propose then that I be assigned as counsel. I'm happy to accompany you.
Have it your way.
What the hell are they being arrested for?
I guess I'm going to. I don't see a reason why not.
And Crystal says, "This is a mockery. Kuai, Eira, I will get you out of this, I promise. I promise." So,
Hey, don't say that so loud.
she tosses the scroll to the ground as she turns to all of you, and she says, "That man has gone too far this time," she says. "It's a ridiculous old law with a basis in old Almanan taboos that forbids adultery and same-sex relationships. The last time Stormbreak enforced that law, however, was years ago. He's not enforced it in years, because public opinion was against it then, and it's against it now. There's something else involved here. I suspect there's more to this than meets the eye. And I think I have an idea to get to the bottom of this."
Casey whispers to Crystal. "So, I just don't let anyone know that I have a girlfriend."
No problem.
Tarek, by the way, has a background as a barrister, as an actual lawyer, so
Sure.
he's going to take the document and start studying it while accompanying them because he doesn't trust that they're not going to be mistreated in the process.
Yeah, she hands you a comstone, and she says, "I'm going to keep in touch with you because I have an idea."
Sounds interesting. Okay. Surprisingly, Tarek has not really used comstones much, so he will take it up and like, this is fascinating. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay. Rune just reads the damn scroll. Like, what kind of stupid shit this is?
It is stupid. It is very stupid. I'm going to enact an old Calronian law. Challenge him to gladiatorial combat. However, it will be foolish to have Kuai and Eira fight for themselves, so she looks up. "Tanawin, you up there as usual? Feel like a fight?" And as soon as she says that, you see a Galvaran man leap down from the top of the tower and land in front of you. Flashy as always. She turns to you. "This is Tanawin. He's my boyfriend, and he will fight as their champion. But this is just a ruse. You see, in order to lure the Pharaoh and a large contingent of his palace guards away from the palace, and if you're willing to help, I would like you to use this opportunity to get into the palace and look for anything that might explain all this." So, this is going to be an infiltration. I have taken the liberty of sending you the link to the infiltration rules beforehand, so that we are all on the same page. What she's doing here is, because this place, the palace, is obviously the most well-guarded place in the entire city and possibly in all of Almana, she's using this as a way of luring the Pharaoh himself and a large contingent of the guards away from there that will give you. It won't make it easy, but it'll be easier, if you know what I'm saying.
Casey scratches the back of their head and chuckles a bit. My first mission, and I'm already being sent to a high tier infiltration, huh? Rough.
Or execution.
One
I
or the
won't-
other, but
I won't lie, this is incredibly illegal, but it's the best way to find out what is really behind all of this, because I suspect there's more to this.
First place to look, the bullshit lawmakers' freaking office.
Yeah, probably the best place to look first, but it'll take some time to get everything set up, and I have a feeling that once I enact this challenge, it will be probably about 3 days from now. So you'll have a few days to put together your plans and figure out for yourselves how you're going to go about this.
Okay. Go find a recent blueprint schematics of the palace.
All right, so you can use a research for that. However your plans go here, I don't want to know what kind of shenanigans you guys are going to get up to here. I want to be surprised by whatever shenanigans you come up with here. Does that sound good?
yeah, so.
Sure.
So, I am going to step away for about 5 minutes, so to say, and
One thing before you do,
sure.
can I try to roll warfare lore to try and see if I know or heard anything about that could help us right now?
Sure. I'll always allow a recall knowledge checks.
Good
Well,
luck with that one.
you do start with one story point. For those at home,
Yes, I do.
we have replaced the hero points system with story points, which just gives a whole variety of new ways to use them. And now I get story points too, which will be fun. And that is a much better roll. So Casey, what are you hoping to recall here?
They're hoping to try and remember if they've worked with someone who happened to be like from the guard of this whole place, and if that would and if that was the case, if they'd have heard anything, even like a sliver of information that could help.
So there is one person in the guard who actually Crystal knows very well. Her name is Detective Balera. She's otherwise known as Skinny. She is a half-fae woman, and she's a detective of the Maji Guard. But since she breached protocol during the World Fair, she's been rendered to desk duty, mostly. But she says she'd do it all again, because that she did it to make sure that a racist murderer was caught. And Crystal can contact Skinny for you.
Mm-hmm.
Question.
Sure.
Since I'm going to be accompanying the guards and registering myself as an advocate for the two defendants, is there a way to get some kind of pass or badge that will allow me access?
Yeah, when you get to the Maji Guard keep, where they're going to be detained, they'll register you and everything, and they'll give you a pass, and they'll make sure that you get access. You'll get access to be able to talk to them and everything.
I'll also need access to speak with the council that I will be opposed to, so we can make sure that we compare evidence and go over legal factions. I am actually trained in legal lore, so and I've done this work before on the islands, so they can also make references there if they want to find out my standing for that.
So the issue is there is no council anymore. The Pharaoh is essentially the council himself, because when he came to power, he made the idiotic decision that the Allied Nations Council shall be forthright disbanded. It caused a whole uproar, and it caused a lot of problems. It almost led to a civil war at one point. He has talked about recently bringing back the council, but because that's not happened yet, he's going to be the arbiter.
Okay, so I'm going to make a formal petition to...
Wow, this is getting dumber and dumber.
Yeah,
to consult
Law
him.
is stupid. Not the stupid person behind everything.
Yeah,
Yep.
Crystal has had her issues with Stormbreak. This is the one where she's kind of like, I am done with this idiot. She's tried everything to suck up to him and kiss his feet just to make sure that the Wayfinder Society can be here and everything. It's all fully registered and everything, and fully above board, But now she's really upset with Stormbreak. He's kind of crossed the line now.
So I'll put in a legal request to speak to Stormbreak and to also go over evidence and trial
Sure.
disposition beforehand. And yes, that's somewhat to do some bureaucracy stuff, but it's also to try and make sure that this is on the level.
Yeah. So, now as you guys try to put your heads together and come up with your plans for how you're going to get into this palace, I'm going to step away for about 5 minutes. If you need to get my attention, you can ping me in the Discord, and I will pop right back in and answer whatever questions
quick
you have.
question.
Sure.
How the hell someone that's so damn stupid can get appointed in power? That should not be a thing. That should be a fucking...
I mean, you say that.
before you put them in.
You say that, but just look at a lot of government nowadays.
Yeah. And we're not going to get political here, but long story short, and this is the stupid part. The council were the ones who were supposed to appoint the new pharaoh. So, yeah. The people who are the counselors before you can bet your butt they're kind of smacking themselves in the head and be like, why the hell did we give it to him? So, yeah.
You should do a test before you put anybody in power.
Yeah. This.
And it's common sense too.
Needless to say, this is probably the point where Almada will probably shift to democracy after the council is reinstated.
And have a intelligence test to put in a value before you can even go into fucking that shit.
Someone say that would need to happen in real life, but you know, but I'm not going to get into politics here. Yeah, a lot of the political stuff in Tirana can get a little stupid. We are not denying that. Stormbreak is one of the stupidest ones. So.
Also, I know I had just rolled a lore check, but I will say right now I cannot rely on my lore skills because Casey does have -1 intelligence.
Yeah. All right.
I have
work
a
together.
feeling that this guy has a -5.
He probably does. I haven't made a stat block for him, but he probably does.
And his thinking wisdom, his common sense is part of -5 too.
Well, at least we've created a sort of antagonist here that you know you hate already. So, I am going to step away now for about 5 minutes. You come up with your plans. Surprise me with whatever shenanigans you come up with. I expect a bunch of shenanigans. This is Mystimon Saga after all. It is full of shenanigans. And if you need to grab my attention, do so in the Discord. And Cat, what the heck are you doing?
Okay.
And so I will talk to you soon.
And ruins scratching her damn head. How the hell stupid people like that get in power?
I say we just buy me a disguise and slide me right in.
Well, we might be able to take advantage of that. Once I'm able to get back with you guys, I should have the paperwork necessary to be able to travel into the building for legal and legitimate reasons, just simply as part of this legal matter. Even with them moving forward with a trial by champion, I should be able to, at least with the paperwork, appear like I have a purpose and reason to be at that location.
Fair enough.
Let's all again get the chance to choose Stormbreak himself to be the fighter. Hey, you step in a fight.
Yep.
You do this bullshit alone, guess what?
Look,
You're
I
gonna
have a
step.
feeling. Oops. I do have a feeling this whole disguise thing has a chance of working, mostly because well, I did used to be a warrior, and I am pretty good with words.
Excellent. That'll be good. If it does break down, we'll definitely need our martial prowess. And in that regard, I'm pretty prepared myself. But I prefer not to kill too many people if we can avoid it. That's going to bring down a lot of trouble
No,
on the
I'm
Wayfinder
saying-
Guild.
I'm saying I have the. I say, sorry. What I'm saying is I carry the visual of one. You know, would fit right in with those guards and stuff.
So we can look at that then. Maybe getting a hold of some guard uniforms as part of this process.
You don't have to kill to kick someone's ass.
Oh,
True.
I'm well aware, actually. I can be kind of intimidating when I choose to be.
Well, that's nice to hear.
For example, I'm a master at intimidation, so if we need to just force a situation quickly, that's one way to take care of things.
If I'd considered myself a master in anything, it'd be mostly diplomacy, but I'm pretty good at intimidation myself.
So that'll be another opportunity for us. Beyond that, there are some things I can call on. I'm not a heavy spellcaster, but as a champion, I can do some things to try and keep people healthy, but I can also do some things to try and push a more positive situation, especially if people are getting a little combative with us.
Well, I'm a summoner, so I've got a few spells on my hand, but can't say I know exactly how magic works. I just kind of do it.
Your creature that you summon, does it look humanoid?
Nope, it's a cat.
Okay. Capable of hiding well?
It's constantly on fire, so
Not necessarily. Stealthy?
yeah, but I can hold my own pretty well.
More thinking like, is there a way that we could make some use of it to get into locations that would be difficult for us to get into?
Oh, it's definitely dexterous. I can tell you that more than I am. That's for sure.
Okay. So, other things to think about then. All right. So I can do some impressions. I can calm people if there's problems. I can intimidate even without speaking if necessary. And I'll have paperwork in order to have a reason why I should be in place. I don't tend to wear very quiet armor. I'm wearing plate, so stealth is not going to be my strongest suit. But with my paperwork, I can usually pass for what I need to be.
Honestly, I'm not sure I can even handle using armor. I can't use it myself.
So that'll be my move. Finding a guard uniform would be a good move. Rune, what are you thinking about? Do you have invisibility or something?
That'd be useful.
No, got nothing like that.
Your magic is primarily darkness or ice, or
Dark and ice.
so do you have the ability to make shadows or to obscure things?
Yeah, duplicate myself, or just make people in agony, or just freeze them in place.
Okay, so primarily offensive. Sounds like our time is up.
Aloha. So, do we have a plan, or do we need a little more time?
We have some
Most importantly, we
ideas
got a plan.
of opportunities, yes.
Alright. Is there any roles that people need?
I am supposed to, at some point very soon, go in and consult with the people that are going to be doing the court side of things.
Sure.
So while I am there, I would assume that would be a perfect opportunity to scout location.
Just scout location on the keep?
Yeah, as I'm moving around within, just general information, things that would help us to know where patrols are, as well as choke points, important locations, etc.
Alright, so I'm actually going to pull up the mini-map here. So, and I'm going to link this in the Discord. Okay, here's the Discord. It's that window. That is the map for Kalrun. So, the guard keep should be somewhere around here.
Oh, and champion, before you go,
Yes.
if you ever need someone to make a weird or outrageous request to those fellas, I'm very good at downplaying those.
Okay, apparently I was dumb
Good to
and
know.
didn't put it here. The guard keep should be in the center here in Kalrun. Uh, because it is also in the Palace District, along with the the reconstruction anyway of the Alman Academy and the council capital that is currently not being used.
Okay. Is the palace itself the walled-off structure?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The Palace District it's the entirety of the Palace District is generally very well secure. It's they do let people into the Palace District in order to say get to the Maji Guard keep headquarters. There are other Maji Guard HQs districts throughout the entire city, but this is the main headquarters here in the Palace District, and they do let people in and out. It's the palace itself that is very, very secure, and
Right.
they don't let a lot of people in there.
Unless you have appropriate clearance.
Yes, yes.
Okay. But I assume since the Pharaoh himself is running this trial, that's where I'm going to have to go to meet with him.
Yeah.
Or at least the aides that he's willing to have meet with me.
Yeah.
My guess is he doesn't feel it's worth meeting with one lawyer.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So I don't need what else. I don't need to know yet what everyone else is planning here.
Actually, I have something I want to do.
Sure.
Casey is gonna go and try to buy themselves a disguise, or at least something to make one.
All right. So what kind of disguise do you want to procure here? In fact, I think there's actually stuff for that on the infiltration page.
Yep.
Secure disguises. Yes. You seek to procure or create disguises. Attempt a normal, hard, or very hard crafting, deception, performance, or society check. So this is going to give you a chance to gain an edge point.
Mm-hmm. But first I want to go get like a disguise kit, something that I can use to actually, make one.
Sure. So we're going to actually just do a. So what kind of disguise are you looking to make here? Or are you looking to procure here?
I'm going to try to disguise as a Maji Guard.
Okay, so that's probably going to be a hard DC. So we're going to do a hard DC. Probably crafting or society.
Could it be warfare lore and with reduced DC then, or could it not?
It would probably be the same level of difficulty, but you can use warfare lore if you want.
It's the same modifier, because both are trained and use intelligence. So.
All right, I am going to pull up a little note here.
Still looking for blueprints to the palace.
Because what I was thinking is getting a disguise kit and then having someone else do it for me.
So I am going to make a new note. Infiltration.
Why I need a roll for to find schematics or blueprints of the palace.
So blueprints or schematics for the palace. And this is probably something. These are all actually. This may actually come up under scout location.
Yep.
So I'm going to have you do scout location. with a society check to see if you can procure blueprints or schematics of the palace.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Hmm.
Nah, no better.
Yeah, you're coming up with goose eggs here. Casey, with your 23, you do just succeed, I believe. So you procure a disguise and you gain an edge point that can only be used to maintain a cover identity. All right?
All right.
Right? So she has an edge point, or they have an edge point.
Yep.
And Tarek,
Yes.
you are now at the Maji Guard Keep because of the district in where they were arrested. They were actually taken to the district here in the housing district.
Okay.
So it's not the main headquarters. It's just the one in the housing district.
Understood.
So you procure your pass and everything, and they will grant you access to Kuai and Eira, and you can file a formal petition to speak with the arbiter, the pharaoh himself, or one of his aides.
Yeah, or his agent, if he chooses to. Yeah, that's fine. And they're going to find that it's not really pleasant. Tarek has actually spent time as essentially a defense attorney before.
Yeah.
So he's going to be looking at everything and making comments about all the things he's seeing. And the goal is actually to make them feel a little intimidated in the process. That
Right.
not only is he knowledgeable, but he is critical of what he's seeing in a way that's backed by legal tradition. So they're going to be a little on edge, and I understand that.
Alright, so I am going to have you roll a society check as you file your petition.
Okay, either one, society or legal lore, would have the same number.
Yes.
Uh,
You
so
can use that
it's a
as well.
yeah, it's going to be a plus 11 on that.
Alright.
So we'll have a 17 on that. Just initially, I'm still learning the differences in how language is done on the islands versus here in Calrun.
Yeah. And
I'm assuming basically proficient.
yeah. So, Rune, what are you going to try now? Are you going to continue trying to get some kind of blueprints or schematic, or what are you going to do?
I'm still trying to look for that schematic for the.
Sure.
If we can, so we actually know where we're going when we infiltrate.
Yeah. So go ahead and try another society check.
Slowly, surely.
You know what? At this point, I'm going to just give everyone more story points. So everyone gets one more story point each.
Thank you.
Nice.
Oh, nice! That's a clutch roll
Nice.
there. That's a clutch roll.
Excellent.
So, this is a critical success. Not only do you find the blueprints, if the schematics for the palace itself, but you also manage to find the schematics for the Maji Guard Keep, the headquarters. So you found that as a sort of a bonus, and I am going to grant you a edge point.
Excellent.
So Casey has an edge point, and Rune has an edge point. And Tarek, you're going to continue with your petition.
Yep. I want letters of legitimate passage.
All right.
Yeah. Took
And
me
I
a while. I actually found stuff, but the problem is I made a hell of a mess because when I found the schematics and all that, I fell off down the stairs and made all the books and shelves fell down with me. Half of that kept the books, the schematics on me, so I won't lose them.
So you have an edge point because actually that's a critical success, right? Is it? I'm gonna go ahead and
Yep.
give you 2 because it was a critical success. So Tarek, go ahead and roll your legal lore.
Okay. And again, I'm also fine with either smoothing feathers with diplomacy or intimidating people with intimidation, either one as well.
All right. 21.
Yep.
So you managed to get through to them, and they grant you a special pass that will give you access to the palace. They inform you though that you're not going to be able to speak with the pharaoh himself. He's quite busy. He's quite busy making an ass of himself. So you're going to be speaking with his aides instead.
Okay.
So we are on day 2. And the challenge is going to be set for the day after tomorrow. So what is everyone doing?
Casey's not sure if the infiltration has even started yet.
No, the infiltration hasn't started yet. The challenge is going to be the day after tomorrow at this point. So,
Right.
is day 2 right now. It's going to be on day 4.
In the meanwhile, actually, Casey's gonna try to get in touch with Skinny. Was their nickname?
All right, so you're going to gain contact with Skinny.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make this an easy DC society check.
Could it be diplomacy?
Sure, we'll make it diplomacy.
Good. Because you know.
You're much better with diplomacy. Yeah, that is a critical success.
Excellent.
That is a critical success. Doesn't do anything extra there. But yeah, you make contact with Skinny. We're going to give you another edge point.
And also, hang on. I'm going to use I'm going to use a shameless request over here. Gonna take advantage of that feat, and I'm also gonna ask about what are points that are less guarded and that someone would be able to pass through.
So, points around the palace. Obviously, when Skinny is talking to you about this, she does so, outside
Yeah.
the district office. She's way outside of ear range, because she's already been confined to desk duty for the past year or two now.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to ruffle any more feathers than she already has, but she is more than willing to give Crystal a hand. And you are a friend of Crystal, so of course.
Yeah.
So, Skinny says, I've rarely been around the palace, and I assume that's what you're asking about, is weak points around the palace?
But also inside could be useful in some occasion.
So I've rarely been there, but I do believe that there's a point along the palace walls, the outer walls, that you might be able to get access through. I'm not entirely positive, but I do know this brought up by a woman named Gristia. She's no longer with us anymore. She's passed away some years ago. But she brought this up. She said that there is a weak point in the palace wall, the outer wall.
I see.
And I don't believe anything was ever done about it.
That's interesting to hear.
Yeah, Stormbreak never really got along with Grissia. He hated her more than he hates Kyrene, to be honest.
I see.
But yeah, he does dislike Kyrene to a point, to a degree, because she has more public appeal than he does. So kind of egocentric there.
Guess so.
Alright, so that's the information that Skinny was able to provide you.
Alright. Does that give me anything?
Yeah, you got an edge point.
Nice.
So, Tarek and Rune, are you doing any further things with your plans? I have no idea what you've got planned.
Question to you. My meeting with the aide who's dealing with this, the advocate.
Yeah.
When is that scheduled for?
That is going to be scheduled for tomorrow on day 3. The challenge is going to be set for day 4.
So, part of my time on this day is going to be spent actually going back to visit with Kuai and Eira, but also spending time just talking with the guards, getting a feel for regular procedures that they do, and
yeah,
starting to gossip.
So there's one of the guards. One of the guards, his name is Lieutenant Levarsis. He's old and gruff, and he seems to have an especially high respect for the Pharaoh, for whatever reason. And you often when you see him, just he's kind of old and gruff, and he's kind of large, so he's sometimes lounging around. Sometimes outside he'll be leaning against the wall smoking. And sometimes you'll see him, say some rude things to people of other races, like especially Sabretooth.
Mhm.
He especially does not like Sabretooth.
Okay.
I think I forgot to... Yes, I did. I forgot to do that. I am so sorry. I am an idiot.
It's okay.
So, Lieutenant Levarsis, he seems to be one that you might have a difficult time getting along with.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in the group that seems to be uncomfortable around him?
Yeah, there's a number of officers that are especially uncomfortable around him. And once in a while, you'll see him go back and you'll see him go back to the cell where Eira and Kuai are being kept. They're actually being kept in separate cells. And you'll see him go back there and look at Eira and say some snarky things to her, like, "Look who's behind the bars now." And Eira is just shooting him the sneeriest looks, and at one point she even flips him off.
Sure. While he's back there, at least a couple of the times, Tarek is going to just spend some time gossiping and trying to get some information about how the Maji Guard is and how many people are diehards for the Pharaoh and how many people might look the other way or at least feel like some of the things he's doing are overreach.
Yeah. So we're going to look at the gossip line now. So you are going to seek out rumors and just talk to people and such, and you are going to go ahead and attempt a normal diplomacy check. You might want to re-roll that.
Yep, I'm going to re-roll that. That's better.
That is
not
better.
perfect, but it'll do something.
Yeah, that is better. And that is going to be a success. So, like Lieutenant Levarsis, there's a few others in here who are really real diehards for the Pharaoh. But there's also others here who do feel like what he's doing is overreach. You'll see once in a while, you'll see once in a while, one of them will go back there and bring them, like extra food and such. And Kuai will give them a flower because that's just her.
Excellent.
And this one does seem to feel bad for them.
So, aside from making connections and maybe even inviting that person to have a drink after their work session or something like that,
yeah.
The other thing that Tarek is going to be doing is he's going to be looking into the legal framework, not just of the law that's in question that's forbidding these relationships, but also recent recent cases, any precedents to suggest that there's been a change in law, and the trial by combat stuff as well.
All right. So, first of all, Crystal can actually give you the best. She can actually give you the best information on the last time that this law was actually enforced, because this law is also tied in with adultery, and
Yep.
she actually was friends with one of the tribunal adventurers who was charged with adultery. But the stupid thing about this is the adultery law doesn't just mean married; it means even dating more than one person. It's really stupid. Yes, it gets really stupid. It gets really stupid, and he was dating 2 people at the time, and that was the last time this was charged. And at that time, Kyrene also used the Colrunian trial by combat. In that case, he himself decided to fight for himself. And Kyrene actually mainly used it as an opportunity to show the public just how stupid this was. And that was the last time that Stormbreak actually enforced this law, because he knew because Kyrene turned public opinion against it. So he stopped enforcing that law at that point.
Okay. It is interesting, though, that he's claiming evidence, but until I meet with them, I won't see exactly what evidence they're bringing forward.
Yeah, it's... Crystal is a little surprised that he even knows about it. He's surprised that he even knows that Kuai and Eira are together.
Okay, so that'll give me stuff to bring to my meeting with the advocate then.
Yeah. I am glad Rune stopped himself there. Thank you, Rune, for stopping yourself there.
All it just says rat, and some people will understand what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is very stupid, and arguments can be made that this law should really be abolished.
And he should be abolished.
And maybe, who knows, maybe this will be the point where you guys help get this law abolished.
Yeah, get this law abolished and have him exiled. And have him blacklisted, never running freaking politics ever again. And put a new policy. Must have an intelligence test every time there's someone gets in power.
Yeah, it would be nice.
They can't be in there.
If he has an accent, they are not afraid to use it.
It would be nice. So, is anyone else going to do anything for day 2?
Let me have a look.
If one or more of the guards is willing to take me up, I'll meet with them at a tavern and pay for drinks just to have a decent conversation separate from there, so they can just vent how they feel.
Sure.
This is about building friends, and that's a goal.
All right. And Casey, you were saying?
Casey's gonna ask everyone else if they have any money to try and bribe someone.
So you're going to try bribing contact.
Except Casey does not have any money to do so.
I mean, there's a certain basic stipend, I assume, that we have.
Yeah. Crystal can provide some money, but in this case, it is going to need to be below board because she doesn't want to. She doesn't want the Pharaoh to catch wind of what you're doing.
All right. But do I do the diplomacy?
Sure.
Also, shameless request coming in for this one. Because,
26. That is nice. That is a nice roll. With a plus 17. You got a really nice bonus there.
Yeah.
I wonder how you got master at this point. Oh, you are level 7. You are level 7.
Level 7, we've got. We're hopefully all a master of something.
Yeah. Brune is busy making routes and plans, contingency plans for contingency plans, and so on. Plan B, Plan A, Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, Plan D. All the plans. Maybe Plan A1.
Plan 1A, Plan 1B, Plan BC. All alphabets in there, numbers.
Yeah, of course. So, Casey, with your 26, that is an amazing roll. With your 26, let's see here. You do succeed, especially because this would be a hard DC.
Nice.
A bribe worth at least 1/10 of the currency per additional PC listed on table 10.9. Party treasure by level. Doubling this amount grants a +2 circumstance bonus to the check. Requirements: you successfully gained a contact. You have successfully gained a contact with Skinny. And she is going to. So you don't need to bribe her because she's fully willing to help in any and every way she can, but she can help facilitate bribing someone else, like bribing one of the palace guards. So the contact through the contact accepts the bribe, and you gain an edge point. So Casey now has 3 edge points. Maybe I gave you a little too much time to... because now we have 3 edge points, 2... and Rune says, after looking at the plan, she just realized she's overthinking this. As she does. Contact 5 personnels at 300 meters at the 2 o'clock. We haven't even gotten to the infiltration yet. So, is there anything else anyone wants to do before we just go ahead and get to day 4?
Well, I plan to meet with the advocate on day 3.
All right, yeah.
And before I leave to go meet with the advocate, I am going to bring with me I'll bring with me a I don't normally wear my holy symbol. My shield usually shows my allegiance to the Phoenix, but I'm going to get a nice version of the holy symbol that I'll have with me on like a ribbon or something, just so that I can be wearing that as a part of a badge of my authority as a champion. And I'm bringing that with me to that meeting, and you'll see why.
Right, sure. Aaron says, of course we'll make a copy of the map so I can keep the original hidden. Probably a good idea. That is probably a great idea. So Tarek, you head to the palace. This is your first look at the palace. The palace looms over you. It is like several stories tall, like at least 5-6 stories tall, and there are towers on each of the corners that raise even beyond that. And the palace is this beautiful marble that you've never seen in any of the other architecture throughout Kalrun. This is the only place where you see this beautiful marble. And think a little like Greek architecture. It's a little bit like that.
Okay. I would assume this is bigger than anything I saw on the islands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a massive building. And as they lead you inside, and they lead you down a specific corridor, a specific hallway, down to a room where they put you inside. And as they do that, you do catch glimpses of a strange creature floating around. It's very shiny gold, but you didn't get that good of a look at it. All you caught a glimpse of was some kind of shiny gold.
Okay. So certainly I'll ask questions as I'm coming in and just getting the lay of the land, and if I'll be able to return to this location, etc. I want to be able to talk about it. So, and I'm also going to be watching things to look for anything out of the ordinary that doesn't fit what we've seen on Rune's maps. That Guardian is definitely important.
So, you make me a society check as you do that.
Sure.
$26. You think that everything here, everything that you are allowed to see, everything that you've been allowed to see, as they lead you down that corridor straight to the left and lead you into that room, that you think it pretty much matches well with the blueprints that Rune was able to procure.
Excellent. However, knowing that there's a guardian of some sort that's floating through the halls is useful, and I'll have to ask about that.
Yeah. Make a diplomacy check as you try to ask about that.
Sure.
23. They tell you, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Well, I'm just concerned. Is that some type of undead creature or the like? I don't normally see a lot of flying creatures of that make.
They laugh and say, no, certainly not undead.
Oh, so an automaton or some other, enchanted thing.
What's an automaton?
Oh, you've seen them, of course. I've seen a few since I came to the city. Devices with sentience and the ability to interact just like you or me.
We haven't seen anything like that. Would you please wait in here? They seem really dismissive of it.
Sure.
So
while I'm here, I'm going to wander around so that I'm not in the same location when the advocate comes in. And when you're ready.
Alright, so the advocate... the aide comes in and he says, would you please get seated? I assume you are here representing, let me see here, Kuai, Tree Watcher, and Eira last. Is that correct?
I'm here to represent the children, yes.
They're not really children. See, it seems here they are 17 and 19.
The age of majority in your jurisdiction here is less than 17?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. I'll accept that for now.
So, if you'll please get seated, we can begin.
Understood. You are uncomfortable with me standing. I'll sit, certainly. And he'll make a point of it. He's wearing plate, so it's loud when he sits down. And that's not something he's going to shy away from. And he sits with both hands on the table, sort of gripped together, intense stare, just keeping an eye on the advocate here.
Let's give this. Sorry, I'm kind of bringing it up like a prop here as he's looking at some papers. And he's looking down at some papers on like a clipboard and such. So he says the Kuai Tree Watcher, is that right? And Eira last. These girls are accused of same-sex relationship. Is that correct?
So no, I disagree. However, my question to you is, we just established that they are both in the majority according to your law, correct?
Yes.
So wouldn't it be a little patronizing to call them girls?
All right, women then.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize women were something offensive to you. I apologize and retract my question.
So why do you disagree with the accusation?
Oh, I understand people can make accusations. That is fair and reasonable in any society that observes regular laws. But we don't have any establishment of fact here. You're just simply making an accusation, correct?
My records here show that they were seen fraternizing.
Oh, that's a lovely word. I've heard people fraternize before without being charged for it. So, by fraternizing, I assume you mean there is a report somewhere of reasonable witnesses who would step forward to be able to speak about observing something that would be considered unlawful, correct?
Correct. They will be present at the... Is that right? Trial by combat. Why would someone use that old law?
Well, why would somebody use a law that really has only been enforced in the recent memory in a case where it actually was taken down and public opinion has made it clear they do not wish to see it reinforced? That, again, is a matter that's not for our discussion. I'm certain that Pharaoh knows exactly what he's doing.
Indeed.
Winks to the camera.
Yeah. But certainly, as is appropriate, if you're bringing forth witnesses, then I should have the chance to speak with them as well, correct?
They are not available at this hour.
Well, then I'd be happy to make a motion that their testimony be stricken because there's no way to cross-examine.
You can do that if you wish.
Oh, I certainly will. I think it's only fair that we have a trial here that actually will allow my clients to receive a full and fair trial rather than something where truly accusations are being made without any basis.
That is your right.
I'm certain. And I'm also certain that the Pharaoh will consider it when he considers his rights as well. Beyond that, though, we have a statement by how many witnesses?
It looks like just the one right now.
And that's admissible generally. One witness statement uncorroborated.
Yes.
Well, then perhaps if I find a witness who can counterstate, we'll be making more charges along the same law, correct?
Perhaps.
Understood. Just be aware that this sets a precedent, certainly, when it is admissible for someone without any basis to come forward and make a statement about other people and put them in jail, especially people that are young, impressionable. That creates, well, an interesting picture for the public.
Perhaps.
Okay. So beyond this, there's no other evidence. And where was this event supposed to have occurred?
I do not have that record on me, but I'm sure it is in the file. I can maybe get you a copy of that.
Oh, we'd certainly need that before any trial moved forward, as well as the ability to speak with the person in question. Did that happen here in Calroon?
Again, I do not have that here on my record. Probably in the file.
If it's not within the city limits and the city proper, I'm curious as to what jurisdiction should actually have authority then.
When it comes under the purview of the Pharaoh, it is all of Almana.
Oh, understood. So even things that happen in other locations with their own unique laws can be changed if it's convenient, correct?
If it's within Almana, it is within the Pharaoh's jurisdiction.
I've heard a number of other things that have come up that the Pharaoh hasn't seen fit to move on, so I'll assume that this is a grave legal measure.
Perhaps.
Understood. So when are you going to be providing this information for me?
Within a few hours, I suppose.
So your expectation is that I will remain here in this room until you can provide the paperwork?
Oh, we can have the paperwork sent to you wherever you are staying. Seems very monotone.
Oh yeah, no, I've already made him uncomfortable, so he's turtling. I get that. So then, what I'm hearing is you didn't really come prepared, but you wanted to speak with me anyway.
You wanted to speak to me. I was under the impression.
Actually, to be honest, I was hoping to speak with the person who will actually be doing the formal adjudication for this, but seeing as the Pharaoh is not available at this time, I'm glad to speak with you. I assume you will not be present at that?
I will be present as I am his aide.
Okay. So then, frankly, I'm concerned about what direction this is going in. What are you seeking?
The sentencing... Oh, is that right? The sentencing... It seems the Pharaoh is looking for the death sentence.
And that's reasonable and normal for women to be given the death sentence on the word of an individual who will not be corroborated?
To be frank, I am actually surprised to see it here.
Yeah, I am not, unfortunately, but I am concerned that this seems to be maybe not necessarily reasonable charge
Maybe.
for the case, but understood. It is a new region for me to work in, and I'm happy to deal with this situation. I will need the paperwork, certainly, and it is my expectation that if I need to, that I can return to speak with you or someone else about this issue.
Yes.
Okay, then I need my paperwork updated so that I can return to this location.
Certainly.
Okay. When Tarek stands up, he's wearing, as I said, full plate. And when he stands, unbeknownst to himself, or maybe actually by choice, that symbol, the holy symbol of the phoenix that's on the ribbon that he put on, sort of catches on the edge of the table and falls off, rolls under the table. Something along those lines.
Alright.
It's just the kind of thing that he's going to ignore for now. But it's going to be here. There's nothing special about it. It is just a simple old holy symbol.
Okay.
And just leaving it here for now.
Alright.
And then as soon as that paperwork has been updated to allow return, especially to this location, he'll also give the aide information about how to get the paperwork, all of the evidence and the like, to him at the Wayfinder Society for now.
Alright. Interesting exchange. And... Go ahead.
Nope, just making sure that it's clear that for now he has accidentally dropped his holy symbol.
Yes, yes. So, Rude and Casey, while that is going on, what are you doing?
Actually, Casey's gonna go ask Crystal a question.
Sure.
Hey, I want to ask you something about this whole case and infiltration thing.
Okay, let us go up to my office, where we can speak with,
Now,
out
yeah,
ears.
it's more of a it's more of a general question. If I manage to sneak my way inside there and pretend I'm a guard and everything, would I be blowing my cover by using they them? Because these guys are super aggressive.
By using what?
My pronouns, they them.
Oh,
Would that blow my cover?
it is taboo within Almana, but it's not really been illegal or anything for many years, or for decades, really.
All right, cool. That's all I need to know.
But it is within, like, old, very old Almanan taboos.
Who cares about a bunch of dead people's taboos?
She very much agrees. She very much agrees. She says, by matter of fact, I'm bi, so I definitely full-heartedly agree. This whole situation is very stupid.
It's dangerously stupid.
Rune says, Rune is checking to see how recent this blueprint is. If this is the most recent, shouldn't have any problem in making escape routes, and notes of secret passages and possible traps that needs to be noticed or noted. Alright. Make a society check, Rune. 24. It appears to be as recent as 5 years ago, maybe.
Wow, that's very recent.
Yeah, if you go back in the records, it seems that when Stormbreak first came into power, he did make some changes to the palace.
How long ago he came to power?
He came into power in 2734. I want to say.
That's more than 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the current year is 2743. So it's been about 9 years since he came into power.
He should have been in office for 4 years at least.
Yeah. So
And pulling stupid shit like that, he should be out within a year.
So, Tarek, as you get when you get back to the tower, it takes a few hours. After a few hours, it's like 9 p.m. or so. The Crystal comes down and she says, "Hey, this came in for you."
Ah, excellent. I'll be looking through it. I have a question for you. Was
Sure.
at the palace and there was something floating around. Looked about golden. Couldn't really get a really good look on it. It was pretty mobile. Have you ever heard of anything like that?
I'm not sure. It might be a Mystimon. You know, they it's not uncommon for it's not uncommon that I've seen for Mystimon to be used as sentries or monitors.
Okay.
It's a practice very common in the Corsica Islands, I believe.
Um, yeah, from what I saw, there were a variety of Mystamon, but nothing like this. So that's interesting. Um, just curious as to what that might be. Maybe there's something in the library for that. I'll take a look through.
All right, Rune is taking a bio break.
So, in between looking at the paperwork, which is probably there, but is there any information on who's the supposed witness?
The name seems to have been redacted.
Okay. So, one more strike against trying to have a fair trial. Okay. And what is reported?
It seems that what's reported is that they were seen kissing, but the place where they were seen kissing, it appears to have been a castle somewhere on the western coast of Almana.
Okay. Bifrost would know, but Tarek may not.
No.
Has what happened ever been reported within the organization? So
if you are speaking of the convergence, yes.
yeah, and the events there.
Yes.
Yeah, but of the kiss, I'm guessing Tarek is not necessarily privy.
Not necessarily. It's not something that would really come up because it's not something that really anyone would normally care about.
Right. So I know that a few people that were there would know, but
Yeah.
none of us. And so this makes it all very suspicious in specifics. And the fact that there's only one witness, again, another unusual situation here. Okay. So then the remainder of my time will be researching to see what kind of Mystamon might be like what I saw.
All right. Go ahead and
Would that be nature? Would that be occultism? Would that be...
Because you're not entirely sure of what it was, this is going to need to be a research, so you can make whatever check that you think it may be applicable here.
Okay.
So you could make one whichever of the recall knowledge checks it would be applicable here. And
Okay.
we'll just go through a quick research.
So, recall knowledge, religion really wouldn't be appropriate, although it's probably my strongest suit.
That is one of the recall knowledge checks typically used for the Mystiary, typically used for Mystimon.
Sure, we'll do that one then. I got a +10, so that'll help.
Alright. 15.
I'm going to give myself a better shot at that.
Alright, so you're going to spend your story point.
Yep.
19.
19's a little better.
19 is a little better. The closest thing that you were able to find is you do believe it may be a light color Mystimon.
Okay.
And you're thinking it may be something called a Conqueror.
Okay.
That's the closest thing that you can find that comes close to matching that description. No, it's spelled like this.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little studying and see what I can learn about it. And if it's not that, I might be off in left field, but it's possible.
Sure. So, Conquerors are spherical creatures that are found all over in... They're found in multiple places around the world. And they are traditionally... They're very traditionally used as, like, sentries and such.
Okay. And spherical, they float.
Yeah.
They're light-based, so they probably have some light abilities.
Yeah.
They're used as sentries because they usually stake out a certain territory.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything that seems to drive them off or confuse them?
There's not a whole lot of information about them.
Understood.
But they do seem to have an ability to sense the direction of the nearest life form. But it can't sense the range of them. It can't sense how far they are. So that's one of the reasons why they're often used as sentries. They have very good locating abilities. They seem to have an ability to release an electrical burst from their body.
Good to know. So some ability to ground ourselves might not be the worst if we are being tracked.
Possibly.
Understood. Okay.
Alright, so Rune is back. It is the next day. And Crystal is now at the Colosseum. and there was a massive entourage as the Pharaoh headed to the Colosseum. Several of the roads were blocked off for that reason. Oops. Did not want to do that.
Good, you got a lot of enemies. And I'm one of them.
So, a lot of the roads were blocked off because of this massive entourage that was heading to the Colosseum. And that means this is your moment when the palace is relatively not as guarded.
I'm going to assume that right now they're going to withhold the trial in light of the trial by combat, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I will share the information with Crystal before she leaves, just so she knows exactly what's been accused. And then I will go off with everyone else.
All right.
And I'm going to send a formal letter or protest that there was no attempt to actually hold, a reasonable trial or bring forth information, just as a statement so they know.
Okay.
And that's what I'm also going to turn to Rune and Casey and share with them that I have paperwork and a reason, a legitimate reason to return because, and holding forth the ribbon, my holy symbol seems to have fallen off and I need to collect it.
Okay, a legitimate reason to go back.
Yep.
It's alright, man. Accidents happen.
Yeah. Yep. It's very unfortunate. I'm glad that I'll be able to retrieve it.
Okay, so Brune, you know from the schematics that there are 3 guard outposts that you have to somehow get past that are leading into the palace.
Yeah, and so it's also there should be a secret route to it, right?
Yeah,
like a back door to his office, to the Pharaoh's office.
This may be where Casey's the information that Casey was able to get from Detective Blair Skinny. This may be where that comes in.
Yeah, Casey does relay that info. So I happen to have found out an easier route through this whole thing.
I'm going to warn you both before I split off to go to the front that I'll step out once I've gotten that underway, but they are using a Kakura, or at least something like that, which is likely a guard, and it will track. It has the ability to sense life, although not how much. So just keep an eye out for a floating golden ball that might be discharging electricity.
Well, are any of us undead?
No, it isn't either, fortunately.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I don't know. I think it's probably a good thing that nobody here is undead.
I mean, never talked to one. Could be interesting, but, well, that's another topic for another day.
Yeah, I just take my word for it then.
Well, if you want to talk to an undead, let's find Lich.
Yeah,
true.
This is actually where Casey's special abilities come in, because she is a Mystimon summoner. So she has the bestiary lore skill.
They have that, which is something that I actually forgot.
You've completely forgot you have the bestiary lore skill.
So if that was requesting a roll, then it was a bad one.
Yeah.
Casey, they do have -1 intelligence, do remember.
Yes.
Alright, let's go to that back door to get into his office.
Alright, so you're going to try to find the... First of all, what Casey relays to you is that there might be some kind of hole or something in the back of the outer wall. So if you see on the map, there is a wall surrounding the palace itself. And
Yep.
Casey relays that there may be a hole or something on the back part of that wall.
So if you guys circle around, I'll make a loud noise at the front. I'll see how many people I can get to come and pay attention to me.
Okay.
And here's a
Tarek can make a deception check.
Oh,
Here's the deal. If anyone asks me what I'm doing over there, I'm just inspecting the hole in the wall. You know, it's a major security flaw after all.
Yeah.
I don't know that it needs to be that much deception. I can very openly come and explain that I'm looking for this and that I need inside in order to return and find it.
Oh yeah,
and I have the paperwork.
So a diplomacy check.
Will do.
And Rune rolls a 20 for stealth. Is Casey going to make any rolls here?
Do I have to?
It might be helpful for you to make a stealth check.
Alright.
Oh my. I don't suppose...
That's why you say you don't want...
You know what? I am going to give everyone story points to start this infiltration off, right?
Let me just open the world envelope to see if there's anything I could use 2 story points for right now, because I feel like I'm going to need it.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of other ways you could use story points.
Yes.
So, Rude rolls a story point and rolls a 23 for stealth. It's a slightly better. Tarek spends a story point and rolls a 28 for diplomacy. That's a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Can you send me the link for the story points page, actually?
Sure. Give me 1 second.
One.
I knew he was going to time me. I just knew he was going to time me.
Okay, 1,000.
Tarek did it. There it goes. There you go. Tarek got it for you. Tarek's very handy.
That's the goal.
Well, Tarek has 2 hands, but Bifrost has 4.
Right. Tarek is not extra handy, just handy enough.
Yeah, it's just handy enough.
Alright, I'm actually not gonna story point that one.
Okay, you're not going to story point that one. Probably have an idea of a better way to spend that story point later on.
Yeah. There's not much else I can do with the +1 either way, so...
Yeah.
As long as I didn't roll a 1, you know.
Alright, so... So Casey trips over their own feet. They're trying to stealthily get around the wall, and Tarek, you got a high enough roll that you managed to distract away from Casey tripping over their own feet.
Yep. I'm being loud and complaining and saying that, you know, I'm quite shocked and unhappy that that I cannot find it, and when looking for it, it determined it must be here, and that I need to be able to return to the meeting room in order to retrieve it.
Sure.
My paperwork does allow me access. You can choose to come with me, or you can let me go, one of the two.
Yeah, one of the guards chooses to go with you, and the other guard stays there, the outpost, and then you have 2 other outposts that you need to get past, and I'm going to say you just spent an edge point on that. So you
Myself or Casey?
Tarek, you can
Okay.
spend your your edge points. I mean, you can spend your edge points to automatically get past an obstacle.
Okay. I'm actually kind of surprised, and I'll mention, last time I came in, I needed multiple people to walk me in. Is it really safe? Should I not have at least more than one escort? Is the aide here? Is there somebody who will be able to speak to him so I can speak with him as well?
The aide is at the Coliseum, they will inform you.
Yeah, but they're not going to be doing a trial now, at least not anything but that trial by combat thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have a hearing, right? Too, or not? I mean, how's that supposed to work?
The guards have absolutely no idea.
Right, but I'm at this point functioning as somebody who's asking a lot of questions and making a nuisance. So
Yes, of course. They have absolutely
Give the guards
no idea how to answer your questions, and you are kind of making a nuisance. And
yeah, I walked along this route, so we need to keep an eye out. Do you mind if I invoke some light so we can actually look around this area and keep our eyes open? I'll describe it in heavy detail so they know what we're looking for.
that may catch the attention of the guard who's escorting you.
Oh no, I'm asking him. I'm telling him, like, I would like to invoke some divine light so we can keep our eyes open. It should make it easier for us to spot it, and I'm going to describe it to him in detail so he knows what we're looking for.
Oh, sure.
And we may need help. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so I'm going to invoke some divine light here, not as a spell, but as an ability of my champion in specific.
Yeah.
So a sort of very large flaming aura springs up, reminiscent vaguely of the flames of the phoenix, all around, and illuminates everything within about 60 feet with divine light. And I can maintain this for the entire length of our search.
Sure.
It's not going to burn anything, but it's a show, and everyone around is going to see it, and it's going to be quite noticeable.
Yeah, Casey has an ability or something that can do the same thing.
Yeah. So I am shedding a heightened divine light that is covering the whole area as we look around.
Yeah. What would you say, Seth? Sorry.
I said you have an ability or something that can create a flaming light like what Tarek just did.
I have produced flame. But
Oh,
also
you have something else. And let me know when you decide to summon that.
Oh yeah, of course. But not yet. That'd call a lot of attention.
It might.
Just maybe.
Just maybe.
But yeah. So me and Rune are trying to go around the.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we eventually spot somewhere?
So
We could
make perception checks, both of you.
Meh.
Alright.
That looks good.
26. So Casey, you you find this point in the wall where there seems to be it's not a hole per se, but it seems that the ground itself has been dug out or something beneath this wall. And it seems it's been here for a long time. It is not fresh at all. It's very, very old. And apparently no one ever caught this.
Yeah, Casey, they of course mentioned this, and is it something that a person can fit through?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it looks
Alright.
like someone could definitely fit through here, and you know, if has Casey lived in Colrune for a while?
Casey lives with Agatha. Now.
She's currently in Colrune.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you might have caught wind here and there that some kids do use this to kind of sneak into the palace once in a while. Eventually, they're caught.
I see. I see.
Yeah, Rune almost walked past it.
Now, I have a question. So,
Sure.
do I send one of? No, I'm asking in character. Do I send one of the one of my Mystimon that I have to scout the area or something, or is it a better idea if we just head in ourselves?
One of? Do you have more Mystimon?
Yeah, I have that one feat for the Mystimon summoner that lets me have more than one.
Have you chosen more than one? That is actually it allows you to imprint. Basically, what you have to imprint Mystamon and more other Mystamon besides your partner. You have to imprint other Mystamon, and
Makes sense.
what that feat allows you to do is it just allows you to summon more than one at the same time.
That makes sense. But same question
Sure.
to Rune.
So you want to ask Rune, would this be a good time to summon Cheetrex?
Yeah, or if we just head in.
Rune?
I think that we'll get in first, then you can bring them out in case it's really that dark in here.
Yeah, Cheetrex
In case it was a dark patch.
is kind of a big cat, but has the disposition of like a puppy.
Okay. But Rude doesn't really know much about summoners, so I can't really imply about anything.
Yeah, so imagine this somewhat large flaming cat. Yeah, that. Do we just pluck one of those into this palace, or do we go in first with my disguise and everything?
Okay. You can set it in, and if it sets off a trap, it sets off a trap.
All right.
But at least it's not us that sets the trap off.
Well, let's just hope it doesn't set off a trap. So I'm gonna send the
Cheetrex.
the Cheetrex appropriately named Kitty in.
Okay, so the Cheetrex's name is Kitty.
Yes.
Alright. So you summon Cheetrex, and out comes this flaming big cat. And as soon as it's summoned, it kind of goes up to Rune and starts licking her hand.
And if I imprint more of these, I will name them variations of the word cat.
I love it. Yeah, Cheetrex are very common in Ulma. Very common.
But yeah. So
Kitty squeezes through that hole, and you want it to scout ahead a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and me and Kitty have shared senses as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so what is the maximum distance that your partner can get from you?
That is actually a good question.
I believe there's a limited distance. It's the same as
Of course, yeah.
Eidolons. It works the same as Eidolons.
And the distance, and that would be... Give me a moment. 100 feet.
All right, so Kitty can get up to 100 feet away from you. Can't get past that. So you have to get under there eventually.
Yeah.
But with your shared senses, you can you catch Tarek's scent, and obviously you want to. So obviously you want to ignore Tarek's scent. You catch Tarek's scent a bit further ahead, but other than that, it seems like the back here isn't as guarded, because I suppose they don't expect people to be kind of in the back here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it seems the way is clear here. And
Alright, it's clear. Let's head in.
as you get in, you do find that there is a back door. A pair of back doors, like double doors, on the back side of this massive structure that is made of entirely marble.
Mm-hmm.
So
Somewhat.
there's a double door on the back of the building. And it is a massive structure.
Is the structure in the blueprint?
Yeah, and it's kind of imposing. It's kind of intimidating, to be honest, as you're coming up to it.
Right, Rin, do we just go through this main door and fuck it?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go to the door.
Right, stay a bit behind. If anything comes up, I'm the one in disguise, remember.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go through the. So we're gonna go through the doors. Yeah.
That door is locked.
Oh, well, that's a bummer. How much? I have a question. How much noise can I hear from Turok?
That is a good question for Tarek.
Because I'm mostly asking, is it enough to muffle a door being busted open?
Tarek, how much noise do you think you're making?
I'm a spectacle. I'm the kind of thing that's going to be occupying visually. I'm going to be talking loudly and making a lot of noise and not being stealthy in my full plate armor. So, think of it as like a walking, like pots and pans thing going on. And he has to get down on the floor and look around. He's looking everywhere else. And he's taking his time to go through and hopefully making enough noise that other guards are coming up now and just sort of being distracted by the whole display.
Awesome.
I'm purposefully failing my stealth.
Very purposely.
Yeah.
Alright,
I'm not trying to deceive anyone. I'm being very obvious about it.
Rune, do you happen to have any proficiency in lock picking? Because if not, then we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way.
No. But do you have a briber? I don't think I brought one.
Hmm.
Plus, I don't expect that don't need a crowbar.
Well, why would you need a crowbar when we have? And then then fucking Casey pulls out their big ass battle axe when we have this.
That'll work. I'll step
Alright.
out of reach, so I won't get hit by it.
Okay, you can make this an athletics check.
With pleasure.
With pleasure. A 23.
Oh, and I'm gonna like immediately when I hear the door busting, I'm gonna like hide behind it as to pretend that I was inspecting it after it broke.
It doesn't seem to break right away. You hit the door, and you chip some wood off, but nothing much beyond that.
Why don't we try this again then? Raises the battle axe again.
Okay. Make your check.
There you go.
Nice.
You're just hitting the wrong place.
That's a clutch one. You slam that axe into the door and it bursts open. It just flies open. The doors just fly open and
Yeah, I just in my head I say, "Surprise, motherfuckers!"
and your tutor X, Kitty looks at the door, and then looks up at you, and looks back at the door, and then looks back at you.
We did it, Kitty. We did it. All right.
Okay, what do we see?
Nervously looks around to see if anyone noticed the very dramatic entrance.
Yeah, very dramatic entrance. Kyrie would be proud. Crystals has said on occasion that Kyrie is the queen of dramatic entrances. So make me perception checks.
Nice.
Very good one from Casey. And a good one from Rune. So you both catch glimpse of this kind of the smallish spherical thing floating in midair as it's coming down the hallway, and it turns just as you bash that door in, and you can catch a glimpse of it starting towards where you are.
Immediately hide.
Right. Don't mean to make anyone panic, but Rune, if there is a time to panic, it's right now.
And as with that, we go back over to Tarek. You eventually get past the last of the outposts.
Yep. And we're
And
gonna go into the main building.
yeah, you get into the main building, and they turn you down that corridor, that hallway, down to the room where you were the day before.
Okay. So, I assume that our meeting table is really big, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm
It's
going
made of
to start.
a beautiful, beautiful marble.
Oh, wow! It's very big then. So I'm going to look around, and if I don't see anything at first glance, I'm actually going to start lifting up the table to look underneath.
Yeah, they're probably wondering how the heck you can lift something like that.
I do have a high strength, so it should help a lot. You know, I'm leveraging, and I'll even point to another end of the table and say, "Can you lift that end? We'll look under here."
Okay,
And
make an athletics check.
Will do.
I want to see this.
Well, I have a high athletics, but it's not working. I'm trying, and it's like, no, I need your help on this. I can't do this by myself.
Okay, one of the guards goes over to the other side and doesn't help very much. That's
No.
like a plus 10 there. Yeah, it's 17. It doesn't help very much. This thing is heavy.
Yeah, we need some more people if we're going to be able to lift this thing up and look under it.
And the guard nods and heads out of the room and starts motioning for other guards to join you.
Yep. And so we're going to lift this table up, and I'll walk them through. You know, like, okay, when we count to 3, everyone lift together. Lift from your waist and up. Don't just main force. It's not good. You can get a hernia that way. So making it into like a group training exercise, it's good stuff.
Yeah, very good, very good. And we have a roll from one guard with a 15, another guard with a 26. He's doing well.
Nice.
And another guard
okay.
with a 12.
Okay, so once that one guy gets it up a little ways, we're gonna push a chair underneath it, and then we'll try again. We'll start from an advanced position here.
Okay, you can go ahead and make your check.
Okay.
Don't tell me the one that rolled a 2 threw his back out.
Yeah, he kind of threw his back out. He's now on the floor. At 29, we have a good roll there.
I'm now lifting it higher than anybody else has, and they're like, "Wow, yeah, okay." And we're looking for it. It's about this big. It looks like the shield, except it's winged. It's a phoenix. It should be red and gold and brass.
And meanwhile, back to Root and Casey, as you see this spherical object start floating towards you, towards where the door is, you then see it suddenly turn and go down another hallway. And it seems to be going towards the front where Tarek is.
Yeah, I got a large number of people with me. That should attract it.
Alright, we're safe.
For now.
We're safe.
Okay, let's go. It's quick.
Let's go.
Quickly, let's close the door real quick and get to the office.
Can we close it?
Very
Is
good
it
question.
messed up or just the lock just broke?
Very good question. You kind of broke a couple of the hinges.
Oh, great. Okay, let's try to close it how much we can. Just go to the office.
Who cares? Who cares?
Well, we're going back out the same way anyways.
Such a scuffed fucking infiltration.
Well, let's find the offices real quick.
So,
Oh my god.
this building has a lot of floors. It has like 6 stories. And Rude, from your maps and from your blueprints, you believe that Pharaoh's office is on the 6th floor.
Motherfucker. Flight of stairs. Okay, let's.
Just gotta go up a few stairs, right?
Yeah.
A few.
And what floor? We're on the first floor?
Yeah, you're on the ground floor.
Okay, since the orb and everybody else is occupied, we kind of run by quietly as much as we can. But I don't know about Casey, though, wearing armor.
Casey is not wearing armor.
Well, disguise.
Casey is disguised, but not wearing armor.
And Kitty just pitter
Yeah, the
patters
kitty
next
lights
to you. Pitter patters next
Okay,
to
let's
you.
go.
Kitty. Oh yeah, Kitty. I'll see you in a bit. I'm gonna unmanifest the
Okay.
kitty for now.
Okay, so you dismiss it.
Yeah.
And it whimpers.
Sorry, we'll talk more later.
Alright, we're going to follow the blueprints and go up the steps. The closest steps you can. That goes up to it.
Mhm.
All right, so
We'll find guards.
you find the closest staircase, and as you head up the staircase, make me some stealth rolls.
I mean, okay, look, we can talk about this.
That's an
mind,
awesome. That's an awesome one from Maroon. Rude. She kind of disappeared on you.
Hey, where'd you go? Hey.
She's hiding so well, not even Casey can see her.
Yeah, I'm somewhere like in just the dim shadows. I have a look back. What the hell? I'm over here. Wave his hand.
Oh, right. Of course.
Yeah, so we could do
let's
a little bit of the follow the leader here.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Because Rude seems to be rolling a lot better.
Yeah, too bad I'm not the expert of stealth, and we'll just follow the leader, follow the expert.
Yeah. But we can do it at heart.
Okay, while we're
As well as
stealthily
the
going up.
expert in spirit.
Yeah, you're stealthily going up the stairs, and the second floor. You reach the second floor landing, and you catch a glimpse of another of those floating spheres as it's passing down the hallway, but it doesn't seem to see you.
Okay, I'll let it buzz on by real quick. Give about another 10, 20 feet. Then go up the second flight.
And you head up to the third floor landing. And meanwhile, back with Tarek has created a huge commotion, and he's even managed to lure a couple of the floating spheres over there. They're kind of wondering what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask. So, is that really a Kakura? Is that what I'm looking at here?
and they say, yeah, that's a Kakura. Yeah.
like who's in charge of those? Like, how do we know they're not going to like go off while we're listening? If we're lifting this table up and they shock us, that's going to be it for us.
Yeah, you're asking a lot of questions. They're like, I don't know. But
Yeah.
they don't really know who's in charge of those things.
That's weird. All right. Yeah.
That's not the information that they're really privy to. That's not information they're really privy to.
So, we're looking around. We've got different ends of this table lifted up. It's going to be very disturbed in here. And has anyone spotted it yet?
Okay, we're going to roll some perception checks now. We're going to say that's a plus 7, 18,
Wow.
25.
Nice.
So one guy spots it. He says, "Hey, there!" But he's the one trying to hold the freaking table up.
Yeah, no, we're still bracing. Like, okay, somebody else has to go grab that. We don't want to drop that. Don't be very careful. Very careful.
Thank God.
You know
You
what,
be shy or some
Derek, I want to give you a story point. This is awesome.
Thank you.
And
This whole infiltration is a cartoon episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I want to give a couple of story points to Casey and Rune as well. I'm going to be giving them back like candy because I want you to be using them. And also because I get some too now. Only up to 3.
Raggy!
So, leaving Freddy, aka Eric,
Yep.
we go back up to Daphne and Velma, aka Rude and Casey.
Oh yeah.
Who's wearing glasses here?
Would be Casey. But they're not really wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget to say jinkies. Alright, since we're at the second flight of
But
stairs and that
Scooby's
door
not
went
here,
by.
unfortunately. Unfortunately, Scooby was sent away.
Yeah. That cheater actually was Scooby. Well, he did say I got a mannerism of a puppy, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But alright. So are we good still so far?
Yeah, so far, you've seen a couple more of those things, a couple more of those floating orbs, Conquerors, and but they've not really seen you. At one point, it seemed like they might have sensed you because it started turning around and looking around, but then it started back on its route. From what you've been able to tell, they do seem to have a set route that they travel along.
So those things are Pat's patrollers.
Yeah.
Alright, going to the next flight of steps.
Yep, you get up to the fourth floor landing. And here is where I'm going to have you both roll perception checks. So with 26 from both of you, you hear some voices around the corner, coming from around the corner. And one of them One of the voices... Rune, you think you recognize this voice.
I think I recognize it. Who is it?
It seems familiar to you, but you can't really put your finger on it. It just seems familiar to you. And this voice is saying, I must find this stone. I must find it, I must find it. Oh, but I wonder, how are our two friends doing? Do you know at all? How are our two friends doing? I hear they called for a trial by combat. Oh, so clever, so clever. I wouldn't expect less from the great Crystal Dawn.
So I'm just thinking to myself, great. Mad Hatter's here.
Casey just thinks, at least they're not talking about me.
So, Rune,
Rune,
do you relay to Casey who you think this is?
Yes, I think this is Zukov. Because I recognize that mannerism.
Whoever that is, but I'll take your word on it.
Kind of whispering, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. I'll take your word on it.
Well, right now, we deal with it later. Let's go.
So you head up the next flight of stairs and head to the 5th floor landing, getting close to your destination. And this one seems quiet. You don't even see any of those floating orbs. Any of those Conquerors.
So, none of those.
None of those Conquerors are here. And it seems rather quiet. It kind of seems to you like this floor might not be so heavily guarded.
Is it just me, or is that a little suspicious, Rune? The whole of this floor not being guarded thing?
I'm double checking the map to make sure if it's on the 6th or the 5th.
The office is on the 6th. This is the 5th. And from your map, it looks like the majority of this floor is mostly like record rooms and stuff like that.
We'll go to the 6th floor, go to the office, find some evidence, so I can some discriminate evidence so I can badmouth this stupid fuck. And turn the table on him.
Oh, Casey will turn a table on him, alright.
So...
But Terex is busy lifting one, so...
Yeah.
We continue on the 6th floor. We can go to the office real quick.
So you're going to continue on to the 6th floor. And... So, as you continue on to the 6th floor, and you see several of those Conquerors now. Several of them are floating around in a set pattern around around what it seems to be the Pharaoh's office.
Okay, we're gonna sit there for a little bit just to pay attention to the patterns.
Okay.
To take the right time to move.
Alright, so both of you make perception checks, so you're trying to watch the patterns. And meanwhile, we're going to return to Tarek. Tarek, you've kind of started something here.
Yep. So we
And
see it, and we're trying to brace it, and I don't want to bring the leg down on top of it, but, you know, it's there, it's under the table. Okay, now we got to brace there, and we need somebody to go under and grab it. What a day.
What a day! What a day! So, one of the guards calls for someone else to come in.
Excellent.
And about 5 minutes later, someone else comes in. This one's a woman, and she's like, "What is going on here?"
We're trying to get that from under the table, and either you can help embrace so that somebody can get under there, or if you think you can do it quick, we don't want to let this down on you. It's really important.
Okay, she nods and is kind of like, what is this? But she nods and gets under the table to grab your symbol.
Yep. Keep it steady. Keep it steady.
You've really started a commotion here.
Oh yes. I'm still flaming. I got the big flaming aura thing going on too. So it is a sight in here right now.
So
Yeah, one of the guards already threw their back out. Lay
Yeah.
on the ground pain.
No, I'm gonna let the people know here. Once we're done with this, I will treat you all to a round of something when we get out of here. This is just ridiculous.
And at this point, as you are slowly letting the table down,
Very carefully, and
very
watch
carefully,
the carpet. It can cause tears. We don't want to do that.
very carefully, suddenly, a man dressed in a circus uniform with a top hat, holding a cane, comes in. And he says, "Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here?"
Be careful. We're letting the table down. You don't want to get hurt.
"Oh, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. What pray tell, are you doing?"
We're letting the table down so it doesn't hurt anybody. Do you want to help? We need help on that corner over there.
I think I will pass.
Probably safest. If you can stick around for a second, though, maybe you can come out with me then?
You seem like an interesting fellow. Maybe I shall.
Okay. I already offered everyone else a drink. If you want to come with us, you can have something to drink too.
I think I will
a
pass
party of
on the
characters. I
drinks.
just don't know this guy.
Yeah, Rune's the only one that knows him.
Are you here to petition today too? I don't think I saw you before when I was here last.
Oh, I am something of an advisor to the Pharaoh. Something of an advisor. I'm also actually here. I actually came here to search through their records. And
Records,
yeah, I've been searching through their records. I haven't quite found what I am looking for yet. But
Well, if you come with us, you can ask.
I am very, very curious about this trial by combat that's going on at the Colosseum. Very interesting, very interesting.
I'm a little frustrated with it, to be honest, but I'm still letting the table down slowly.
Are you, pray tell, an acolyte for those two lovely girls?
Acolyte would mean that I was a worshipper. I'm here as a counselor, certainly, but not an acolyte.
That's what an acolyte is in this culture.
Sure. But he's from the islands, so he probably hasn't heard that term before. So I'm here. I was here in an advisory duty. I was here yesterday, and my holy symbol got left here. It's very frustrating. Thank goodness all these fine guards were able to help me find it.
Oh yes, very fine guards indeed.
And at that moment, I turn off the light display.
What a lovely ability you have. I have a few interesting abilities of my own.
Well, I believe you. You seem fascinating. What were you looking for?
That is a story I shall keep to myself at this time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. I sometimes do that. I'm from out in the islands. It's just a habit. We're, I guess, maybe a little more friendly to people, so we also forget things sometimes.
But I am more so curious about you, and have you spoken at all to those two girls?
I spoke with them the last few days, certainly.
What a terrible situation it is.
I don't disagree.
I can't imagine how they're feeling. But you know, laws are laws.
It's one way to look at it, certainly. I'm sure there are quite a number of laws, in fact.
Oh, there are quite a number indeed.
So, maybe we can continue this conversation afterwards, outside of here?
Maybe. And with that, we're going to go back to Rune and Casey.
So now I'm occupying Zolgoth, too.
The ultimate distraction.
But the only character who knows who he is Rune.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the reason why I was like, oh shit.
Introduced him, and I just introduced a character that was part of his cult too in the other campaign.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, what were we up to?
So you rolled perception checks, and pretty good perception checks there. 26 and 23. So pretty good perception checks. Rude's doing a better job of really paying attention of what the patterns are. And Rude, you do notice that there is a very specific pattern that they go along. It is very specific and is always the same. And that actually kind of catches you as kind of weird because as far as you can tell, these are living creatures, and living creatures are rarely this exact.
Alright. Since I have noticed this, I'm going to relate a little bit, but I'm going to wait for the right time to push right through. But I'm going to grab Casey by the collars and let's go.
Alright, here's the thing. Maybe they're just intelligent enough to know that they're on guard duty. I mean, who knows?
Or something else. Yeah, wait for the right time and the right opening to go.
Alright.
So, you wait for the exact right moment. And then you're like, go, 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 go. And you roll stealth checks.
Could it be reflex for this one in specific?
You could try, sure.
Let's go. Better than a 7.
Yeah, I also actually want to give Eric a story point and give you two some story points. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I'm going to be giving them out like candy now. Because I want you to be using them for more than just re-rolling rolls.
Oh yeah.
So, you managed to make it past this sentry post here. You managed to make it past these Conquerors and get right into the door and close it. And you find yourselves in this large room that is very ornately designed, more ornate than anywhere else in this building. And there's paintings of previous pharaohs lined all around the walls. And at the center of the room, at the back center of the room, you find a very large marble desk. Apparently marble is something they cherish here.
Okay.
Apparently they literally like marble here.
Okay, so you check low, I check high. I'm going clockwise, you go counterclockwise.
Alright.
Go outside the inwards.
Okay, so make perception checks as you're searching around this room and the desk.
Also, one thing, I'm going to use 4 of my story points to suddenly remember that I happen to bring an invisibility potion.
So you can only have up to 3 story points.
Okay, that's fair enough. Because I had 3, so for the last one, but that's fair.
So you spend 3 story points, and you suddenly remember you had something.
Yes, a second level scroll of invisibility.
You suddenly remembered you have a second level scroll of invisibility.
It's a third level item. Not quite a potion, but you know.
Yeah. So they suddenly remember they have a second level scroll of invisibility, and
that they cannot use.
They cannot use.
At least, yeah, invisibility is not a primal. It's not a primal spell. You know, maybe Rune will get some use out of it.
Rune can actually.
Yeah. You know.
For
later.
What spell type is the scroll?
Arcane
Invisibility.
Oracle.
Huh?
Invisibility is arcane oracle.
So it's in this case it is actually primal.
Huh. I mean, she should be able to use it.
Arcane is primal and occult is force.
Yeah. So we should be able to use it.
Alright, fair enough.
Alright, so Road rolls at 20, and we have a 15 from Casey. Rune...
Yeah, try not to make a mess.
Rude, as you're trying not to make a mess, what specific areas are you searching right now?
I'm checking like the side tables, counters, whatever it is, and maybe behind those paintings. You never know. Could be
Okay.
something like slapped back in behind the picture frames.
Okay, so as you're searching around there, you find a logbook. It looks like. It looks like someone has been taking. It seems like it's someone's job here to take notes of meetings that the Pharaoh's having, and one page that really catches your eye as you're flipping through this is a page where it seems he's having a meeting with someone by the name of Henry Corbett. And that catches your eye because you remember Henry
Corbett upset.
Henry Corbett was Zolgoth's foster father.
Yeah. So now I know the way he's going by now too.
And as you're reading this like transcript, it's kind of like a transcript. It appears that Henry Corbett, or Zolgoth, came here searching for something. And the Pharaoh kind of gave him access to their records room.
Because of course they did.
He managed to worm his way through here. Worm his way in here. Somehow. You're not quite sure yet how he managed to get access like this.
No. Could be the brown nose or ass kissing method. Who knows?
Maybe he's using his nobility, from his own family. Who knows? But it seems that he came here searching for something. He was looking for something. You're not too sure exactly what it was that he was looking for. It doesn't seem to say here.
Like it's what? Personal records, probably? Try to erase his personal records?
You're not too sure. So, you do find information here that he has been poking around in the records hall, and the records hall is on the 5th floor.
And it's empty.
It's currently empty, not really very well guarded there.
Okay, we'll get a search as quick as possible, try to find any other inscribed evidence or notes or kind of anything.
So,
real quick.
So as you're flipping through that logbook again, you then come across another transcript of another meeting that Henry Corbett, aka Zolgoth, had with the Pharaoh. And this is where things get interesting, because you catch what really catches your eye here are the names Eira Last and Kuai Tree Watcher. And it seems that he's, and I'm assuming you're kind of relaying this over to Casey, right?
Yeah.
It seems he mentioned offhand, hey, these two girls, I saw them kissing. And at first, the Pharaoh really didn't care. But it seemed, as you kind of flip through this and kind of continue reading through this, through subsequent meetings, he managed to convince the Pharaoh that he needed to enforce this law. but the pharaoh was against it at the start. That's what's interesting to you. He was against it at the start.
It was being manipulated.
Yeah, it would appear that Zolgoth was manipulating him. And it seems like through these logs, it seems like over time, the Pharaoh's attitude is kind of changing. So, you can make of that what you will.
Okay, how big is the entry?
The entryway into this room is a pair of double doors.
No, talking about the book.
Oh, how big is the entry?
Those meetings.
Those meetings. There are several meetings over the course of over the course of the past 4 months.
No, how big is the entry? Meaning, how much is written in per page?
How much is written per page?
Yeah, date and time and all that.
Date and time. Each meeting seemed to take place over the course of about 10 minutes here, 30 minutes here, sometimes 5 minutes. The longest one seems to be something like 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay, how much is recorded? Like, how many pages worth?
One page here, a couple of pages there, up to about a good 5 pages, 6 pages or so.
Okay, I'm going to quickly jot down the date and time on each entry. Try to write down what you can.
Okay. And Casey, what are you doing?
Casey is attempting to search for something, but not doing too
Yeah,
hot.
yeah, you're not doing too hot there. You can try again.
All right.
Yeah, you're doing better there,
Oh.
25. So, you come up to the desk, and you're searching around the desk, and you find something a little odd under the desk. You find a single rune, it looks like. You're not entirely too sure what this is. You can make an occultism check. Not one of your best, huh?
In the contrary.
Your worst.
Please don't touch it.
Okay, so Rune, you're going to have a look at this, are you?
Yeah, I might as well. Does it let me know that you found something?
Do they?
Just Kate?
Yeah, Rune, can you translate this for me real quick?
Is that the bottom of the desk or
Yeah,
somewhere inside?
It was on the bottom of the desk. It was on the underside of the desk.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick look at it.
And you make an occultism check. Since you're much better at it than Casey is.
Certainly so.
We all have our cons and our pros.
Exactly.
And that is a 26. And Rude, I'll tell you what this is. I'm going to need a quick second to look here. Because I have something in mind that what this actually is. This was in this book. Do 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 do. Rune, this isn't. This is a Fulu. You recognize this as a Fulu. It's just a rectangular paper charm that's taped to the bottom of the desk.
I take it, ripped apart. That's
And
could be what's causing the manipulation, making him change his behavior.
Yeah, it seems to be like some kind of crafted charm or something. You think this is the exact charm this is, you think is like some kind of mind control or something?
Okay, I take it, I rip it apart.
So you rip that thing apart. And what do you make of that?
Yeah, what I gather out of cases the Pharaoh has been manipulated. This is a mind control charm. In the entries, he's slow. He would originally the Pharaoh was against this stupid charge.
Can you hand me that for a second? I know you've shredded it, but can you hand me the pieces of it for a second?
Well, sure. What's left of it? It's part of this paper mache right now.
I'm gonna cast Produce Flame.
And she sets it on fire. Or they set it on fire.
There we go.
Okay, now it's ash.
Just to make sure.
Just want to make sure that it is completely destroyed.
Alrighty. Hopefully he regain some sense after that thing's gone.
In case you're wondering, no, I don't know how I did that either.
Well, it might take a while for it to wear off. But at least you have some kind of evidence that you can call Crystal with.
Well, now, I mean, technically now we don't, but...
Well, no, we do. We do, and then we don't. Well, we should...
Yeah, the
well, I said
logbook.
that I have... Yeah, I got the logbook. I wrote down some entries from the logbook.
Yeah, the logbook. Oh, yeah, the logbook.
Yeah.
So we do have that.
Yeah, and you do have the clue that Zolgoth originally came here searching for something. But you're not sure exactly what he was searching for. For that, you can go to the records hall here in the palace, see if you could find something there. And meanwhile, Tarek, you've been having a sort of interesting meeting with this man who you don't know.
Yep, don't know him at all.
You don't know him at all.
And I'm trying to persuade him to come so that way we can step out of here and I can figure out who he is and what he's about.
So
here's a question. If I give you a story point, will you be able to give me some kind of insight into him?
All right. Sure.
Because I'm trying to figure him out, and he's being surprisingly evasive. So I'm just trying to figure that out.
He is being very evasive. He is being very evasive. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
So you spend a story point to try to get some insight from the GM.
Yep.
And I do have plans for how I'm going to do this in the future, but for now, um, you kind of get the sense that he might have something to do with Kuai and Eira and their current situation.
Yep. Especially his comment about, it is the law. He seems to be the guy that made the report, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you also get the sense that he's here mainly for another matter altogether.
Right. This is some kind of decoy of some sort.
Yeah, he's he's being very cagey about it.
But the guards are accepting him as here without even the paperwork that I have, so that suggests they've seen him a lot.
Yeah.
So as we finally let the table down and fixed the carpet and the chairs, and I'm gonna take a look at the guy who threw his back out. How bad does it look?
Looks like he'll recover within like a day or two. Looks like he kind of needs a day off.
I'm gonna lay on hands and I'll give him 5 hit points worth of healing.
All right. And he thanks you for that.
Yeah, that should help with speeding up the healing process. And you're going to want to, it's going to be counterintuitive. Wait till tomorrow when it hurts the most. You're going to want to put some cold on, not heat. And then you're going to want to continue stretching. And I would say it might be worth doing some regular lifting for a while just to get your body back into the pace of things. You don't want to let this become like a problem.
He takes your advice and everything. Thank you. Are you a doctor or something?
No, not at all. I let's just say that this armor and pound the breastplate a little bit, that comes with a lot of work. I've earned what I've got, and he gives a firm handshake that shows that he's a rather strong guy. This is, if you live an active lifestyle, if you sometimes have to defend people, then it's good to stay fit,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and so who's getting close to shift here? Who's going to meet me and possibly take me up on that offer?
A couple of people raise their hands, including the lady who came in and got your symbol for you.
Thank you. That's awesome. Yes, I tell you what, I'll wait at the front gate. We can all head out together, and when people are ready, let's go have a nice. Yeah, we'll at the front gate. We'll all go off together. It'll be nice.
Now at the back gate.
Nope.
So and everyone stays near the back gate for a very long amount of time.
As we're leaving the room, he turns to this very festively dressed man. He says, "So, are you familiar with I assume you've been here at the palace a number of times, yes?"
"Oh, yes, indeed."
Now, is this indicative of sort of the grander structures throughout Calrune? In the islands, we didn't have buildings like this, so I'm not familiar. Is this common for nobility and for people of high station, or is this unusual?
This is of course the most majestic of buildings within Calrune. There are some rather nice houses in the nobles district. You ought to see my castle over on the west coast.
Wow. Tell me about it.
Oh, I have a very nice place where I conduct my prayers on the cliff.
Prayers. So who's your patron?
Oh, you
I'm
probably
obviously
don't know him.
no, I probably don't, which is why I asked. And
You wouldn't
he's
know
in the
her.
process of
She goes to another school.
yeah. I'm in the process of like very openly putting the medallion of Phoenix back on the ribbon there. So as I'm asking questions, no, I'm fascinated. Different religions in different places. I'm learning a lot, and I'd love to hear more. Tell me.
So you pray to a Mystimon.
Does that seem strange to you?
Oh, not at all, not at all. I know someone who prays to a rather pathetic Cowan turned god.
Okay. That's interesting. There's so many different things that people do.
I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but it's very good.
Yep. So no, yeah, I'm fascinated with all the different ways that people believe, and I've known the Phoenix for a while, so it only makes sense that this is a good place for me to focus. I think there's a lot we can learn from beings like Phoenix.
Perhaps.
So, tell me about your patron.
Oh, he is.
About the fifth.
He is often known as the Mad One. I rather like that name. He is mad. I'm mad.
I'm sorry to hear it.
He is very chaotic. And I am very chaotic. He exemplifies me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mistook that. I thought you were needing justice. That you were seeking some type of remedy for issues. Oftentimes when people talk about being mad, I'm usually having to be there to help solve the situation. But that's not what you're talking about, right?
No.
Unusual.
I have my own plans for those two young ladies. I have my own plans.
Well, I can tell you as someone who has spoken to them and as a legal representative that I would strongly encourage you to make sure that those plans coincide with what they would choose to do, because that is the basis of a reasonable society.
The basis of a reasonable society. That kind of precludes that the society is reasonable to begin with.
Well, if it isn't, then that's a laudable goal, would you not agree?
The society thrives in chaos.
Well,
and I'm going to give it to
don't-
them.
Tarek is looking around at the guards that are with them, and trying to see how much they feel comfortable with this kind of language.
Like, anyone hearing this, dude?
Yeah,
You
because
guys listening to this?
yeah, just a little bit.
The lady seems a little put off. But you know they've been ordered to it seems like they've been ordered to let this guy through and everything.
Is he walking with us towards the front?
Yeah.
Okay. So you strike me as a theatrical man. Am I wrong?
Oh, how I adore the theatrics.
So, I assume what you're looking to do is sort of hold a mirror to society. Show them how sometimes we think we're doing one thing, but instead perhaps doing the opposite.
Perhaps.
Okay, I can respect that.
Or perhaps give them a look onto the other side.
I think that's what I was saying, but okay.
I think you will like what I have in store for this city.
Maybe. I do like a number of things. I find the city to be interesting and different than what I'm used to. So, if it makes things interesting, sure.
Yeah, and with that, I'm going to head back to Rune and Casey, who are heading down to the 5th floor. They have no idea about the conversation that Tara just had with this man. They head down to the 5th floor to the records room, to the records hall, and you find it really pretty deserted. You don't even see any of the Conquerors here, which it does strike you as a little odd. And make me perception checks as you are searching through the records hall. 18 and 19. And you know, it takes you some time, but you find the log book, and it does seem to note you do find in this logbook, you do find that that Zolgoth signed in here as Henry Corbett a number of times, and he put down what he was searching for exactly, because there's a row here that says you note down what you're searching for, right? And what it seems that he was searching for was something called a Black Aegis. And he was also searching through records of artifacts and relics. And you make me society checks.
Oh,
20 and 13.
hell, I'm gonna roll up. I'm gonna use up a point.
Okay, you're going to spend a story point.
Society, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Ah.
That's worse. But I'm going to give it to you anyway. You believe, you're pretty sure that that the Maji Guard are actually in charge of containing artifacts and relics within their vault. And Casey, you think that Skinny might be able to help you with this.
Alright.
And now I am going to turn back to the Colosseum. Crystal is there as Tanwin has started the fight. And has anyone contacted Crystal at all to inform her of Zolgoth's presence?
Nope.
I mean, we were just
Not
about to
yet.
do that, but... Yeah, we were just about to do that, but...
Okay, so you're going to contact her and let her know about Zolgoth's presence.
Yeah, that was the next step.
Yeah, contact her, let her know about the little charm, and answer that he got manipulated by this so-called Zolgoth guy.
Okay. You let her know this, and she's got kind of got a blank stare on her face, and she just realized, I may have just walked into his trap. As she starts looking around the Colosseum, and she finds something, and she tells you, I'm going to need to call in the rest of the investigators. I'm going to need to call in. I need to call in the whole squad here. We just walked into his trap. I just found an explosive, and that is where I'm going to end today's session. I want to thank everyone.
I'm glad we didn't end with a bang here.
Casey has 106 health. They can probably survive an explosion.
I want to thank our audience, and please do tune in next time for part 2. We will be live again on, actually, on the 12th with the other party. So you can now catch us now on every other Tuesday and every other Saturday. And we're going to be live again on the 12th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And you'll be able to catch the other half of this story. What is Zolgoth up to? What is he up to this time?
And of course I'm gonna be playing fucking Evelyn next session.
Yep.
To find out.
Yep. What is he up to this time? We're going to find out next time. And the other half of the story with the other party on the 12th. So, I want to thank everyone for coming, and of course I know Tarek / Bifrost, you are not going to be here on Saturday. We're going to miss you.
Yeah, I wish I could, taking one of my kids to their college visit, so gotta do that.
Yeah, of course. So, what will Bifrost be doing during that time?
Bifrost has to actually officiate at a funeral service for a Sabertooth from the Zalamba tribe, who is the neighboring tribe to the Fox Hollow Ranch.
Yeah.
Who died in the Convergence. And now we've got the body and we're able to do a full burial. So he'll be there and officiating over that with the tribe.
Yeah, of course.
I hear there's actually a really nice meal that goes with it. A collation is what I'm told it is.
Oh, yes, yes. You know,
they've learned some stuff from... Yeah, they learned some stuff from Bob, so now there's very large meal being planned. Unfortunately, Bifrost can't eat any of it, so Bifrost will just have to smile and nod and talk through it. But
yes, of course. So I will see you all next time on Saturday, and see us our audience then.